Right, we have all the details, including all the stories people are talking about on News360 tonight. Stay with us and let's turn to the details right now. And at least about 10 people have reportedly sustained machete wounds Sunday after renewed chieftaincy clashes at Oshiye near Kokrobite in Dakar South municipality. It was not clear what led to the clashes this time that left some residents in deep pains. And we are hoping to establish contact with the District Police Commander DSP Simon Agbodeka to throw more light on this issue. So as soon as we get him, we will be able to conduct the interview and find out more details about the renewed clashes.
Away from that, let's now attention to other stories as over 500 residents of Fuveme in the Keta municipality have lost their homes and livelihoods to tidal waves since May last year. The fishing community could be wiped out in the next 3 months if urgent steps are not taken to stop the sea waves.
Break time, please.
Some of the kids used to play with the water. For them, they don't know anything. They don't know how dangerous it is. Yeah, so we are afraid. You don't know how it might occur, yeah, and thereby affecting their life.
So the school building you just saw in the story and the bubbly children you saw in the classroom and the fear of the teacher who just spoke has come to reality because now the school is somewhere 150 meters into the sea. The sea has taken over the school and unfortunately the children are making do with a makeshift structure which is not helping education of these young ones in the community. This makeshift structure is a third to be constructed by residents in the last month. It accommodates pupils from classes 1 to 3 and this uncompleted one for GHS students. Residents say over 60 houses have been destroyed within the last 3 months by the strong waves. Affected persons collected the remains of the destruction as they face the unknown. 34-year-old Kofi Adover is compelled to use the shades of these weakened palm trees as his kitchen due to the destruction of his home by the waves.
The distance between the sea and my house is 30 meters. So if nothing could be done early, this house will go.
The sea is getting near to the river. So about 15 meters between the sea and the river. So if the sea open here, it will enter the other areas around us.
Danish coastal protection expert Paul Jacobsen was unhappy poor work on the Adansi defense project could be the cause of the destruction.
The problem that is the groins by Ada. You built the groins too long, so we have lee side erosion. It's one point. And the other point, that is Dredging International took the sand in front of the river and placed it in front of Ada. So when they open the river mouth, about 10 to 20 million cubic meter water is running inside in the river on 6 hours, and the next 6 hours is run out again. So we have also damage inside in the Volta River by resorts.
He feared the community could be completely wiped out if immediate measures are not taken to halt the natural phenomenon. From Fuvoma, Nana Kwekwedia for TV3 News.
And now, Friday's downpour at Sogakope in the South Tong district of the Volta region has exposed the lack of drainage system and the indiscriminate building on waterways. The over 2 hours rain flooded homes and affected most businesses in the community.
Sogakope is one of the bubbly business communities in the Volta region. Known for its contribution to the tourism industry due to the Volta River, the community lacks proper drainage system. A 2-hour downpour Friday affected most residents who quickly pointed accusing fingers at the district assembly for not constructing enough drains.
This is the only drainage, I would say, for the main Sogakope township. All the way from Agokpo, from Total Child, the hospital, all the drainage comes to meet at this particular point. There has never been anything done about the district concerning the drainage of this.
The biggest problem we have here is people building on the waterways. This is a challenge to the
Town and County Planning Department of the Assembly.
You can see some parents coming in to take the awards. Under normal circumstances, this place would have been cleared. The children will go home themselves, but they are stuck in there.
The children here sat quietly, hoping the water will subside so their family members would come for them. Here, the water on the street had cut the rest of the community off from the other side, affecting most businesses along the route.
It's been like this for ages. We hope something could be done, but individually we are trying, but it's not enough. We need help from where it's necessary, but I don't think anybody seems to be interested because they think individually we are making profit.
Mentally challenged people are managed in the country. He said mental patients have rights and need to be respected.
Mental health appears to be a neglected area in healthcare in Ghana. Section 2 of the Mental Health Act 846 entreats the state to provide humane care, including treatment and rehabilitation in a less restrictive environment, as well as providing equal access and opportunity to people with mental problems. However, many mentally challenged persons are seen hovering in the Kumasi metropolis. They sleep in the streets and are treated as an outcast. Occasionally, philanthropists attend to them, but these are isolated cases. A psychiatric expert, Dr. Emmanuel Obeng, believes the country has not done well in mental health care.
Mental Health Acts stated clearly that every district assembly should find a place for these people. So the district assembly people, they know it, that it is their responsibility to find a place for mental patients who are on the streets.
The Port and National Security have clamped down on some private developers who have illegally sited port operation facilities along the beaches of Tema and Keta. The joint operation was to smoke out such unauthorized facilities and hunt for the perpetrators.
Operation was made up of the Tema Port Security, Ghana Navy, Marine Police, National Security and BNI. They stormed Anyanyui in the Keta municipality of the Volta region, where a fishing harbour had been developed with some Chinese nationals numbering about 34 with a Ghanaian. 14 fishing vessels had also been brought from China for the project. Municipal Chief Executive of Keta denied knowledge of the project. Next was Tema New Town, where an LPG storage facility was under construction. A 600 meters breakwater had already been constructed into the sea, an act considered illegal because owners had not been permitted by the Ghana Ports Authority to build such facility. However, owners claimed they had sought permission from all necessary institutions and the metropolis. The action by the developers contravenes the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority Act, PNDC Law 160 of 1986, which authorized Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to be the sole authority to plan, build, develop, manage, operate and control port facilities in the country.
We've gone to caution and warn them. We are going to go around again. We are going to spread our reach also to the entire coastline of Ghana. Anybody who would be arrested will be prosecuted.
And the Transport Minister, Kweku Ofori-Esiama, has tasked the Board of Directors of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to implement the September 1 directive of moving all port transaction onto a 100 paperless platform. The minister noted the move will remove most bottlenecks which have bedeviled the clearance system.
The two ports, Tema and Takoradi, are undergoing extensive infrastructure development. The projects are geared towards opening up space for effective port delivery. The clearance process at the two ports have overflowed with delays in the clearance process, leading to high cost of doing business. Inaugurating the GPHA board, the Transport Minister, Kweku Ofori-Esiama, asked the board to fix challenges in the port operations.
The removal of custom barriers throughout our transit point, mandatory joint inspection by regulatory agencies at the port, and implementation of 100% paperless transit.
And speed up cargo clearance. A culture of paperless system at the ports in sync with the Vice President's policy directives.
Still at the ministry, a new board for the Metro Mass Transit Transport Company was also inaugurated. Issues of revenue leakage leading to poor financial performance, procurement lapses, and automating the process to reduce human intervention were assigned to the board to work on. The board chairman of the Metro Mass Transit Limited, Ahmed Arthur, promised to come up with innovative measures to improve the current state of the company.
As the month of Ramadan and the National Chief Imam and the Vice President are in the news, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has reiterated government's commitment to adequately resource the Zongo Development Project to engender growth. He made this known at the closing ceremony of this year's Ramadan Quran commentary at the Awosokan Central Mosque in Accra.
In a speech delivered on his behalf by Osman Yunus, the Vice President said government was determined to adequately resource the Ministry of Zongo and Inner City Development to help develop the Zongo communities.
The request made by the Council in connection with the promises and the Inner City and Zongo development, the government is on course to delivering those promises, and inshallah they will be fulfilled.
National Chief Imam Sheikh Osman Nuhu Sharubutu, Mayor of Accra Mohammed Ajay Soa, and the Council of Zongo Chiefs attended the function. General Secretary of the Chief Imam Alhaji Awesu urged Muslims to uphold the key Islamic values at all times. He urged Muslim youth to celebrate the upcoming Eid al-Fitr within the confines of decency, adding they should not allow themselves to be used for any acts of destruction.
We need to uphold the values that are critical to the well-being of society. The Muslim youth should resist any effort by anybody or any institution to use them as tools for the carnage against humanity.
You're watching News 360, still to come in the bulletin. Residents of Bakpakokpe in the Sene district of the Bono Ahafo region blame teachers of local schools for teenage pregnancy cases which are on the rise. We have the details of these stories as well as the very latest from the world of sports and entertainment when we return shortly. Stay with us. By Peter Kwao Adato.
Bakpakokpe is a settler community among the 38 islands in the Sene East district of the Bono Ahafo region. It has one of the oldest schools in the area, established in 1975. Yet, like any typical fishing community, people of Bakpakokpe are still struggling with educating their wards. Many parents continue to engage their wards in fishing activities at the expense of their education. A fact-finding tour organized by the Ghana National Association of Teachers to the community as part of activities to mark the 2017 Child Labor Day revealed yet other challenges. High school dropout rate between the primary and junior high school. At least 18 pregnancies were recorded in the 2015-2016 academic year alone. One of the 18, we were told, even gained admission to the senior high school prior to noticing she was pregnant.
There was a lack of parental control and their basic needs parents doesn't provide. So immediately he gets a boyfriend and then something like pad, and then the boy is able to afford for her. Then and some to mobile phone. Now that they don't have much role models here, immediately gets the phone. Then he wins the lady.
The school health education program officials have begun reversing this trend. The area has recorded only one pregnancy case.
We were educating the children how to abstain, how to educate their peers. So we train peer educators.
The community is, however, divided over who is responsible for these pregnancies. The Odikro of the town, Kobla Mekpowovo, and some other elders allege teachers are responsible for these pregnancies. The alleged teachers lure girls and have sex with them and blame others for the pregnancy. The community is, however, unable to sanction the teachers.
Teachers do not accept posting to this place easily. For this reason, even though we are aware of their misdeeds, we are reluctant in taking drastic measures against them for fear they might abandon post.
The head teacher of the Bakpakopek Junior High School, Kojo Bariba, however, disagrees.
No. Since we are here, nobody has. No. We have not had any case about that.
He called for support from the community to help redirect the focus of the girls towards education through constant counseling, parental guide, and care.
And back in the Greater Accra region, more than 10 fishing communities have called on the chief fisherman and the priest of Azizanya to withdraw or reverse a curse they impose on fishing within the Adan territorial waters. They contend people are adopting other means to attract the fishes due to difficult challenges, and any force against their operation will amount to denial of rights.
The fight against illegal fishing in Ghana has become a thorny issue in recent months, with the fishers' fronts sharply divided. Those who oppose the efforts at banning all forms of unapproved fishing practices have often violently attacked those in favor of government moves. On Wednesday, June 13, the chief fisherman of Azizanya, Nene Abanam Otibo, together with the chief priest in the area, organized a deba to condemn bad fishing practices. The deba discouraged the women from buying fishes caught by light and other bad fishing methods. They also threatened to deal fiercely with all who enter their territorial waters with bad practices and invoked the gods in their support. These did not go down well with fishers in the Adanfoa area. They organized a counter-deba to explain the reason for their engagement in illegal fishing practices. The spokesperson for the Adan group, Solomon Soti, said light fishing and other unconventional methods have become necessary evils.
We are saying that 3 trawlers, for example, the fish stock that they destroy during fishing cannot be compared if you sum up all the canoes, their production over time in light fishing, for example, along the coast of Ghana, and therefore the trawlers must be stopped if we really want fish production to increase.
They appealed to the Azizanya fishers to reverse the curses they are employing to address the issue. The Adan fishers again accused the fisher folks at Azizanya of using banned nets in fishing and want them to remove the lock in their eyes before attempting to pick the speck in theirs.
The illegal fishing in Azizanya, for example, the use of dynamite, destroys the fish stock more than our light. They must ensure the stoppage of those practices before invoking God against our light fishing.
2 Nigerian nationals are in the grips of the Cantonment Divisional Police Command for daylight robbery. The 2 suspected robbers reportedly deflated the tires of their victim at the Flagstaff House traffic light and snatched 6,000 cedis he had withdrawn from a bank at Osu.
The daylight robbery reportedly occurred Wednesday afternoon. The 2 suspects, Ndubweze Odomenam and Shokoko Amadi, according to the Cantonment Divisional Commander ACP Winfred Frimpong, trailed their victim from a bank in Osu. The police said the victim stopped in the traffic light at Flagstaff House, but suddenly realized that he had a flat tire when the green light came on. The victim, the police said, pulled out to the side to check what happened. Just as the victim got down to check the fault, 2 guys zoomed past on a motorbike and snatched the money he had withdrawn together with the envelope. ACP Frimpong said another motorbike rider perused the robbers and hit the one riding the bike with his helmet, leading to an accident at the The accident reportedly caused the money to spread on the road, attracting commuters, some of whom began to meter instant justice on the three riders. They were, however, saved by ASP Nanka Bruce, who was returning from a duty point. 5,250 out of the 6,000 cedis belonging to the victim was also retrieved.
These people that we have arrested now, we are going to interrogate them further and find out they may have certain accomplices, they may operate in groups. So doing this, we get to know more modus, we get to understand what they do behind the scenes. So the issue of the mob lynching, the mob attack, it is something that we all have to at least put an end to it.
Preliminary police investigations have revealed that the robbers attached nails to bathroom sandals to deflate the tires of their victim. ASP George Obing narrated how the same gang robbed him of money he had withdrawn to pay his children's school fees last week at the same spot.
I parked my vehicle and got down to check what was happening on my vehicle, the tire. So when I got to the back of the vehicle, somebody told me that somebody have taken something from my vehicle. I quickly went to the vehicle and saw that my money that I went to take at the bank, they've taken the money away. The person bought the motorbike and they sped away. Nothing I could do. They are the people. Because I saw the same motorbike, but the number plate was not clear.
The two are to be put before court on Thursday, charged with 4 counts of conspiracy to commit crime, to wit robbery and robbery.
Let's dive now into agriculture and research conducted by the Crops Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has revealed close to 50% of cassava produced in the country is lost along the value chain. Speaking in an interview with TV3, the Deputy Director of the Institute and the cassava breeder, Professor Joe Menu, underscored the need to put in place measures to address the situation. A report by Benjamin Edu.
Ghana is the 6th largest producer of cassava in the world in terms of value, with the commodity constituting 22% of the country's gross domestic product. According to the food balance sheet by the Food and Agriculture Statistics, cassava is the first crop in terms of calories intake, providing about 24% of total daily calories intake. Processing cassava into gari is one of the most promising value addition activities. Notwithstanding the benefit of cassava production, there are constraints. Premium Foods Limited and the UK's Department for International Development are funding the cassava agribusiness and small-scale processing project to increase the incomes of more than 2,300 rural small-scale cassava farmers in 8 districts in the Ashanti and Bunahafo regions. The goal is to support a constituent trade in high-quality cassava flour on the Ghanaian markets, as well as export to neighboring Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast and Togo. Deputy Director of the Crops Research Institute, Professor Joe Menu, says the £2.3 million pilot project would boost the cultivation and processing of cassava. At a district-level sensitization meeting on the project at Insuta in the Sechere Central District of the Ashanti region, Professor Menu decried wastage along the cassava value chain.
You have cases where farmers in certain districts, certain areas have excess of cassava left in the bush, whereas others in some areas where they are processing into gari or flour don't have access. So there should be proper coordination.
Chief Executive Officer of the Premium Foods Company Limited, Tom Gambra, observed that more than 50% of cultivated cassava goes waste because they are not harvested.
If we as a people can create the industry around cassava, because there are so many uses. It can be used for pharmaceuticals, it can be used for plywood glue industry, it can also act as import substitution for some of the things that we import, and it can create jobs.
Away from agriculture and in the health sector, officials at the blood center of the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital say more voluntary blood donors are needed to make up for the shortfall in blood supply. Head of blood donor recruitment, Kwame Asenso, stressed the need to steer away from family replacement blood donation to voluntary donation to help achieve the 100% target.
To climax 2017 World Blood Donor Day, the officials from the blood transfusion medicine units of CAF used the occasion to launch Pledge 25. The Pledge and Club 25 is a 9-month project being run to establish a cohort of safe, regular, non-remunerated blood donors among the youth towards the achievement of 100% voluntary blood donation. It targets to collect 5,000 units of blood annually. Pledge 25 is an initiative to encourage students in the second cycle institutions to donate about 20 pints of blood before reaching 25 years. The event targeted students in some senior high schools in the region who have over the years shown interest in the voluntary blood donation exercise. Currently, only about 75% of donated blood comes from voluntary non-remuneration blood donors, while the remaining percentage comes from family and replacement blood donors. But there are challenges associated with family and replacement donors because it does not ensure regular and constant supply of blood needed to save lives. Head of blood donor recruitment at CAF, Kwame Asenso, said the situation can improve with greater sensitization and education.
Advocacy for blood, voluntary blood donation should be intensified in Ghana. The media can come on board to help give education. We will be able to collect more blood and get more blood for Ghanaians who need blood.
The principal blood donor organizer, Asiedu-Dartey Moating, touched on the essence of the pledge and Club 25.
This was to encourage students to also refrain themselves from immoral activities. And if you know you are a member of the club and you will be donating your blood at the interval of say 4 months or 3 months, then you refrain from getting yourselves involved in immoral activities.
And now the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, has tabled a list of investment potentials in the Ashanti region before Ghana's diplomatic missions abroad. The minister spoke to Eva Tiboka in an interview in Kumasi when foreign diplomats called on him.
The High Commissioners and Ambassadors designates are currently on a nationwide tour to all 10 regions. They are taking stock of investment and business potentials in all 10 regions to woo investors into the country when they assume work in their respective countries. The diplomats called on the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah.
Foreign policy is now shifting from the traditional to what we now call economic diplomacy. Our mission, therefore, as High Commissioners and Ambassadors, is to look for investors from various countries for purposes of development of our country.
In an interview, Simon Osei-Mensah presented a list of investment opportunities he wants the diplomats to sell to foreign investors in their respective countries.
When it comes to our Greek, we have several manufacturing, also tourism. Too, we have several energy, conversion of waste to energy and all those things, conversion of waste into fertilizer. All these are potential areas that we have.
Industrialization is also key on the minister's overall economic development vision.
There were several industries here, but most of them have already even collapsed. Thinking of rejuvenating all these ones, like previously we used to have jute factory here. We are looking at Wankra Inland Port.
He is therefore exploring every opportunity to achieve the desired development for the Ashanti region and Ghana in general.
Officials of the Ministry for Special Development Initiatives say the 1 million per constituency fund could be given out as soft loans to constituents for businesses. However, some MMDAs are warning the objective of the fund could be derailed. Eva Tiboka has more.
The Sector Minister, Hawa Kumsin, spelled out disbursement and project implementation modalities of the annual $1 million cedi equivalents to each of the 275 constituencies to the stakeholders.
The funds will be disbursed through the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives and the Ministry of Finance, the 10-member team. They will work with the contractors to execute projects effectively and efficiently. and these people will be absorbed into the development authority.
Explaining to the stakeholders, Hawa Kumsin emphasized 70% of key projects to be implemented under the fund would focus on a factory in each and every district, one village, one dam, food storage facilities, markets and water and toilet facilities. The remaining 30% are constituency priority projects based on needs assessment. Hawa Kumsin, however, stressed flexibility in the project preferences and emphasized the fund could be given out as soft loans to constituencies.
And then we can also use it for poverty eradication. Soft loans to men and women, but of course they will be paying it back.
This did not go down well. With some of the DCEs, they questioned the vision of the fund.
I think this 1 million equivalent is supposed to be from the capital expenditure or the capital budget, and it's supposed to be funding capital expenditure. Looking at the lending aspect, depending upon the reason for which we are giving out these loans, I'm just thinking, is it going to fit the purpose of the capital nature?
The minister warned MMDAs and constituency executives against misuse of the funds, saying stiffer sanctions await offenders. Regional ministers have also promised effective monitoring and supervision. They are asking all Ghanaians to join hands to make the program a success.
Now, the Queen Mother of Kwabenya traditional area, now called Asiedu-Dartey II, has urged traditional leaders to desist from party politics and focus on developing their communities. She was speaking in Accra.
Na Kokwi Dugbate II called on traditional leaders in the Gar state to unite and not allow politicians to divide them. She lamented most traditional leaders in the run-up to the 2016 elections gave their support to different political parties, which in her view is not right, and called on them to desist from party politics in order to gain respect. The Queen Mother of Kwabenya traditional area also called on government and the security agencies to help in fighting land guards, particularly in Accra, to ensure sanity. Other traditional and opinion leaders from various traditional councils joined the people of Kwabenya in the celebration as the ban on noise making was lifted.
Still watching News 360. In entertainment news this evening, in line with Father's Day, 3FM and ICANN Innovation have celebrated Ghanaian fathers for their contribution to the lives of their wards. The fathers who took part in various contests, including cooking contest, were awarded with goodie bags from guest father and actor Ramsey Noah. Brenda Luterot reports.
Being a father comes with so many attributes, like having an understanding heart, being a source of strength and support right from the very beginning of your ward. In this part of our world, fathers are not much talked about due to the shirked responsibilities of a few. 3FM, as part of activities to celebrate fathers, has organized the 3FM's Father's Day Hangout to help strengthen the bond between fathers and their wards. The fathers who came with their awards took part in cooking contest, athletics and indoor games. Other side attractions included bouncy castles, musical chairs, sack race and soccer. Some fathers shared their fatherhood stories.
They are very happy with me because the way I direct them, the way I counsel them, they like. So I'm very happy to be a father.
Children are so, I call them little big people in little body. So if you have a relationship with them and you nurture them well, they are so special.
Father of three, Thomas Kwakopom, who came with his son Richfield Kwakopom, couldn't hide his love for his son.
It's not easy being a father, but you need to make time to be with your children. And I travel often, but then most of the time when I'm around, I make time and go out to have fun with my children.
Talented child DJ Switch, stole the show with her Father's Day mixtape fusion of old and new school music. Seasoned Nollywood actor and guest father Ramsey Noah wowed audience, presenting goodie bags from Onga to fathers who won various contests. He shared fond memories of his children and urged fathers of the awards to correct the stereotype and perception that fathers are irresponsible.
Life is all about family. Life is all about responsibility. Man, like, you got to own up to it at some point in time in your life. You just have to. You have no choice, except you don't want to leave a legacy behind.
The event was in partnership with ICANN Innovation, with support from FanMax, Onga and Longreach.
Looks exciting. And happy Father's Day to you, Isa, and all the Ghanaian fathers.
Thank you. Makes me want to grow a little pot belly. But looks like that's one of the qualifications of being a father in Ghana. Thanks for watching News 360. My name is Isa Moni.
And I'm Natalie Force. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. Enjoy the rest of your evening.